Good morning. Sorry for the lighting. It's not super bright. I think it'll be alright. It is 7:34 a.m. on May 11th, 2018. I got back from a city hall meeting last night. And the government, in the city specifically, is for this. They can't wait for tax money. Besides the fact that I feel like this will create a whole nother approach to this whole city with an industry that is just now getting started. One of the districts mentioned we are in a boat race, and we are the boat, Sacramento City. And we really want to get a good start, not get on a bandwagon in 10 years with, I don't know how it's all even going to come around back then. But, in 10 years from now, it's going to be very interesting. You'll have other countries probably getting on this new industry, and you'll have big corporations buying properties outside in other countries, or however else they're going to be making deals. I think the biggest issue right now is we're looking at a small picture. You're only looking at it as a medication side, as some bad or good addiction, or is it going to kick addictions, or is it going to heal something? We're missing the big picture side, where enough of this beautiful material plant, from what I understand, there's a lot of use for it. And I think we're already growing hemp at that level where we're using it for material. So my biggest question is, why aren't we just plowing, instead of hemp, all THC, marijuana, CBD? And we don't even have enough clones or seeds to even multiply in one season. That goes with actual product, not having enough of that product, not having enough plants to even multiply at that rate. Or even, you hear me, it's that new with such big demand that even if we wanted to come at it like that hay price, or that barley, or whatever it is, those wheats that are like $9 billion commodities, we don't even have the resource to even take that big step. If, let's say, tomorrow they say, hey, we can legalize it, let's grow fields of it. So my whole thing is, there's no rush. I understand that. Let's go back to real quick. Fine. Let's keep it the way it is. Let's keep it super permitted and priced the right way, if that makes any sense. Not everybody can just start up growing in their backyards. Yeah, even better, you can grow 6 plants in your backyard. That's awesome. Or indoors. That's another thing. Why aren't we growing outdoors? So anyways, back to, if it was, let's say, that cornered where it's only big money that can get into this industry, why is there now apparently, we should be happy that there's 3.4 applied square feet of CUP, is what they call it. CUP that has no BOP, or whatever, business license permit. So they're growing right now under the city's protection, untouched, with permits that are not even accepted yet, a couple, but went through. I mean, they're in process. With now, the only area that you can really even do this is in District 6, where they're trying, the people that have the money, that have all this ready to make this move. And even if it's out of state, we should be happy that we have people that actually want to participate and make this movement, and not turn it into like a 1 or 2, 3 Home Depot type of approaches. You hear me? Anyways, there's so much topics and web that you can go off with the education it's going to create, what it's going to interest people in, the feelings that it does and gives with the medication that we need. I mean, the commodity that has that need for it. How we can really use this plant for so many things, and it's understood and known. And the best part about this is they send puppets. They send a puppet that doesn't even know what she's doing or he's doing. Or if they do, they're a little bit educated, or maybe a lot educated, they're completely going against the grain. It's unreal how first off, how obvious it is. It's getting pretty obvious. It's getting so sickening obvious because the rules are now finally coming along. We're actually trying to like get through and get things moving. Why is there only 2 apps accepted a day? She said that, or they said that, like it's how do I say this? Like that's just, why don't we hire more people then? I mean, this is a lot of money. A lot of people have paid a lot of money to get their business moving. I mean, this is a joke. This is a joke. And you know what the best part about it is? This is for real. I wonder sometimes, like, man, is this even real? Sometimes the way, you know, people treat people, how we hear this news is, and gosh, I'm so sorry for this phone. It keeps slipping. I really need to buy a little pod thingy. So anyways, it's a pretty 6-minute video. I'm wasting y'all time, my time. Bottom line, the city wants to grow. The leaders that we're trying to bring these ordinances to are like, what is going on? Why are we trying to cut down the canopies when we're like, whoa, this is great. We should be happy. There's so much momentum right now in Sacramento City that we're even actually going with this. And it's only a matter of time when in 10 years, 20 years, the whole world's going to catch on. My approach to this, like Mr. Not Carvel, the other guy to the right, my left, said about the boat race. You know, these old wise men, they see the big picture. They've played with this medication. They understand where this is all going. And now it's so obvious that the longer we slow this whole down, the better it is for the ones that are running. I understand we're cheating right now, one way or another, and we should be coming to the city right now. Now we're wasting time. We gotta wait how much longer now till we can come again to the city for another ordinance. By the time they draw something up and this and that, and the people that are doing the work, the drawing it up, they're only coming at it to like not have permits, less permits, not so much square footage, this and that. I mean, why are you holding back an industry, a new commodity? Where everybody and their mother, I think, at the moment wants to grow outdoors. Why would you not want to throw around a few cannabis seeds, whether you are medicating or not, just to watch the beautiful plant grow? It's so gorgeous. So anyways, this is making no sense. Instead, we should be completely doing the other thing. Let's have a sign-on sheet who wants to guard and watch and water and where you want to be stationed at and zoned at. All throughout government, if anything, city property. Sprinklers already there, watering some freaking bush. Marijuana. God have mercy on this beautiful medication. We're pushing this plant to extremes with not organics, and that's not healthy at all. So we're fighting rules and regulations when it should be enforcing planting, education, knowledge, wisdom through what we've learned, putting it back into a 10, 20 year, yes, routine that we finally got down with now another whole generation or two coming up, laying the right foundation down. We, as the kids of the 60s and 40s, of that big drug, new thing that came along before the cigarettes, that really threw off a lot of ranching, farming, that drive, passion for businesses where, yes, competition really went down. Right before that, you have your grandmas, the old timers that have had these ranches, that have had this farming, ranching work ethic, where yes, you had to have fields and fields and fields of this stuff, and you had to import it or transport it, God have mercy, states and states, you hear me? And it wasn't like such big high demand. We have something where we are always in demand of something, whether it's a 5-acre place, harvesting lettuce. I'm sure you can find a buyer nowadays with LA and San Francisco and this and that. Bottom line, here I'm going with this. Um, Farming is getting very, very rare. And we have now a product where you can make a living nowadays with these prices, and the demand's getting higher with states and people and countries finally understanding what this is, and it's actually not that bad. Um, Way better than beer. Will I say that I pick one over the other? No, I love my beer, but moderation and everything. And if we had to have one thing, it would be, of course, marijuana. As that, your addiction, because it is an addiction. It might not be your pull. It's not gonna pull on you, but it's gonna be like, man, my day is so much better with just me toking on this beautiful genetic strain of sativa. That's another thing. Sativa is very rare. It's getting harder and harder to find. It's a low yielder. It's very popcorny. When I say popcorny, it's not a big fat stock like big indica stocks. It's very tiny and it has very bunchy shoots, very hard to grow. It flowers another 2-3 weeks longer usually. And people haven't been working with it because of all those reasons. So it's not even that easy to find. Long story short, that's what I've been working on, and been wanting to perfect and dial it in, and working with genetics that people have lost. You can't even account for it because everybody's throwing around clones and seeds, and within just a few years, it got really messed up. So the mess has already happened. We're not going to stop that. My whole thing is, let's perfect it. Let's somehow organize it. And we got people like me that have genetics that could somewhat say, hey, this is what was in the pot. I mean, I can't back anything up because it was such a big, unorganized operation where, yo, give me my licenses. If anything, even give me a grant where the government gives me money to go start an operation and do my thing because y'all understanding my approach to this industry. I'm going to be an asset. I'm going to be a benefit. And if the grant's going to be anything, maybe a grant in a way where it has to pay back if this, of course, gets bigger and greater. And if I can't achieve or do what I got to do, I got to pass on the wand to someone else that can. Let's just say that. But at the moment, there is no education or paperwork that can show my degrees. That's how fresh and underground this whole industry is, and that's the only reason I've even been in it for so long and not given up, because I knew this day was going to come. Where I wanted to be in the game when I'm fighting the game, if that makes any sense. I don't want to be a outsider watching and thinking that I had something to do with the game or a say or this. Right now, I have every right to be growing in my own house, in my own property, my own name. Nobody worries about it. Nobody cares. It's even like 1,000 feet from the high school. I'm not worried about it. I'm planning, I think, either growing in Russia or Oregon. Not because it can't grow in Sacramento, because it's going to change. Things are only going to get better. From the government view, from what I saw, that was the main reason I was in that courtroom. I wanted to understand who's on whose side. Oregon's cheaper, taxes, more property, it's a little bit more humid. You got greenhouses, you got, with money, it could all be done. If anything, indoors, fully controlled. Anyways, I really do pray that whoever's behind all this could just leave. It's unbelievable the people that are in court trying to bring this down. It's we've got an audience that are like for this, right? And then we have a city has like this cannabis people or something. Like what the fudge? And then you have the people in front of you, the districts that are probably all medicating by now, listening to all this marijuana talk, that are like by now like, what is going on? Have we even seen any money? Somebody pointed out about the BOPs where you're growing a CUP, you got your permit to grow marijuana, but things just taking so long that in 12 months, by the time they bring in a few $1 million for themselves, they don't have a BOP. It's not a business permit. They're not going to show their taxes. They're not going to pay. Well, they might a little bit to show that they've been working. But bottom line, I'm not ratting. I'm just explaining the whole situation of what we have done and only going to keep doing if we don't just let it go. When I say let it go, we flood this market so much where there is no point of even having a black market. There's no point of me moving 10 pounds. First off, because it's going to be, weight's going to be so cheap. I mean, yes, we'll just be selling sugar, keef, clean keef sugar. You hear me? And at the moment, it's going to be like $1 a gram, like $500 pound of keef. And you're going to be taking down, 100 pounds of marijuana in your backyard. Maybe 5 to 10 pounds of keef. 10 pounds of keef solid, let's say. So a little $5,000 extra bonus a summer. Having a drip system. Growing some seeds. I'm thinking worst case scenario. If that ever did flood the market that high. But who's going to want to even, I don't know how it's all going to work yet, but if you have more, let's say you have 5 acres, and all of a sudden you're going to bring in 100 pounds of keef, I'm sure you'll get more money. You've got a built up credit of genetics maybe, or good product, this and that. So there's going to be tiers, I'm sure, and this and that, but flood the market with this product where everybody and their mother is just growing so much of it that there is no need for middleman in it somehow or this and that. Everybody's just like, man, forget this. I'm just going to bring it into the recycling center, which is now a manufacturing center. Apparently that's what Sacramento kind of wants. They want more manufacturers. So I feel like that's actually a better approach. More manufacturers that are ready to juice out this oil, run this keef. Then you've got your cultivators, and the cultivators are different tiers. You got your homeowners, you got your warehouses, and then you got your, industry, big industrial places. So I look at it like, why are we reeling it in where the momentum's only built up? And the momentum's built up so that, think about it. I'm a businessman. I've been selling insurance. Before that, I was selling candy. I'm a hustler, kind of a person. I want to be out making moves. I'm so committed. Not committed. I don't want to say committed because I can't wait to get out of this industry. But I'm so till we figure things out, then I want to make the moves. I don't know where I was going with this, but bottom line, that's why I'm so still grasping onto this industry, because we are not figuring it out. You got smart people giving you the facts. You've got corrupt people hiding the facts. You've got your leaders trying to understand the facts. And then you got the real deals wanting to put the facts in effect. When I say facts, we need this commodity. The ones that are leading are not leading it right. I said leaders. Leaders in the city want this. There's a small, tiny little group that I feel like is getting paid by some very, very, very dark money. And they're doing a very bad job of even trying to fake it. If that makes any sense. Because they're so uneducated. They have no idea what they're doing. They're just puppets. And they're like fighting like, God have mercy. The city's going to get ruined. And it's going to be massive economy collapse. Horrible. If there's going to be more than 2.5 million canopies. The fuck, bitch, you talking about, you stupid cunt? I did not say that word. Please forgive me, Lord Father. It just makes no sense. I got the little devils in everyone. It's crazy that are against all this. Again, if we didn't flood the market, I'm gonna cut the video off here. Why are we cutting off people that have the money, that want to pay the taxes, that want to do it right, that are here for this huge, massive race with a valley that is... Even if we did open it up for Colorado with all that snow in the winter. Hawaii, that beautiful four-season tropical weather. Man, Nevada with the deserts that we can bring in or drill for water. I mean, think about it. Valley of Sacramento, how beautiful it is. Oh. I'm saying all this because there's going to be a massive civil war sooner or later. Because people are sick and tired of this. And I guess it all starts with education, proper raisings. You got a lot of this bottom crawdads that are frustrated that they're not getting treated right. When you've got salmon wanting to come in and spawn, and they can't even do it because the ones that are running the rivers are really messing it up. So as we're rebuilding this river, as the salmon are still coming in and spawning and crawdads are doing their things, it's for the babies. Little rugrats. It's what we were 2 decades ago. Babies. Looking back at me, what if I was getting my hands a little dirtier in the gardens at an earlier time with marijuana being legal back then and my dad understanding the commodity and this and that, and God have mercy, maybe my father would be alive by now, or still. It's just a lot of things that we're not going to be able to change, like the stock market crash or the big, economy disasters. But the one thing we can put back into this life is hard work, breaking your back, understanding the true values of reaping and sowing. Or is that all twisted? All right, everybody. Stay low, baby. Love. I'm going to miss y'all so much. We're not here forever, baby.